I'm unafflicted by my actions. The result of a game. Victory at the cost of pain. Like a freight train, you're tied to the track. The way to escape, there's no coming back. You're in my way, and I haven't come and find the pain. It's you, walk away, and this is find another pain.
Had to do a little something like that for the man. Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome wrestling video. And it's Wednesday. You know what that means? NXT. Yes, probably the only reason you should ever have the WWE Network, because NXT is the alternative to the main roster's suckitude. So tonight, we have two title matches, and both of them were pretty great. First matchup, Alexa Bliss, a relative veteran of NXT who has been sidelined with an injury for a while, versus the current NXT Women's Champion, the Boss, Sasha Banks. And as everyone knows, I am very high on Miss Banks. She is a magnificent in-ring competitor. She's like the Bella twins if they had charisma and good mic work, and actually can wrestle great matches. And this match was no exception. Sasha Banks I liken to be a female version of Randy Orton. Just very vicious, very methodical. You'd think she would be like, well, she is arrogant and kind of a bitch in a way, but she's still a bitch that can tear you apart. And her signature maneuver is a modified crossface, which she calls the bank statement, I think. I might be getting her signature moves messed up. She has two of them, both with Banks in the name. But anyway, this was a good opening match. I personally liked it. This is what women's wrestling should be. This is the reason why I don't get excited for divas matches on the main roster, but I can get hella excited for an NXT women's match, especially featuring Sasha Banks, because all of the women in NXT, from Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Emma, yes, Emma, and even Blue Pants, they all can go. They have interesting personalities in and of themselves, and they can all go. The main roster's problem, outside of AJ and Paige, they are all pretty much the same cookie-cutter Barbie catty bitches who do catty bitch shit to each other because they're catty bitches. I'm sorry if a lot of people don't agree with that, calling them catty bitches, but that's just what they are. They do shit that catty bitches in high school would do, like push each other, call each other names, hate on each other for the most superficial of reasons, and one day you're friends, the next day you're not, for dumbass reasons. I'm looking at you, Bella twins. How can you go from 1 minute Nikki calling Brie, who stole everything in her life, and say that she hopes she died in the womb, to just saying, oh, it's okay, it's all good now? It doesn't make sense. But anyway, Sasha Banks retains. Fantastic match. You should watch it. Most of the show was also taken up by promos for WrestleMania, since this is WrestleMania week. And this reminds me of why I'm watching this, because this is a better alternative than the lineup for WrestleMania. Also, we had some backstage vinaigrettes for both Kevin Owens and his challenger, Finn Balor, both of who cut great promos. Also had some backstage shenanigans between Bayley and Emma. Seems like they're going to have a feud building up to any time soon, as well as some drama between the reigning NXT Tag Team Champions Blake and Murphy and their number one contender opponents, Big Cass and Enzo Amore, or as I like to call them, the second coming of the New Age Outlaws. Tons of talent and way too much charisma. And now the main event, which took up half the show, which I'm happy to say. The champion, Kevin Owens, defends against Finn Balor, Sam's Demon Makeup. This was a fantastic matchup. This kind of reminds me, this is like the Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania, but done right. You have the champion, who is a dominant force of nature, who gives no shits about what people think about him, who victimized and brutalized the incumbent champion, who was well-liked and very popular, somewhat, I'm talking to you, Cena, and utterly destroyed him in a match and gained the title and has been dominant over everyone since, versus the plucky underdog who just arrived on the scene, who wants to make a name for himself. See? Finn Balor is just like Roman Reigns, except he has a character, and he can work a mic, and he has decent charisma, and he can wrestle fantastically, and is not relying on, and everyone's not sucking his dick just to get him over because he is lacking in all sorts of ways, and wasn't forced down our mouths just to make us believe he's a champion. He stood a chance. But anyway, this was a fantastic, fantastic matchup. If you don't know, Finn Balor, a.k.a. Prince Devitt, and Kevin Owens, a.k.a. Kevin Steen, have fought each other many times in the independent circuit, in Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they know each other pretty well. They put on a solid match, a lot of stiff spots, a lot of great spots. Turning point comes when Finn does an over-the-top rope plancha to the outside against Kevin Owens, and kind of jacks his knee. It's kind of minor, but doesn't stop him. And soon he has Owens in the corner and does his usual hesitation drop kick, but misses, and it jacks up his knee even further. Kevin Owens sees the blood and smells the blood in the water and begins to mercilessly destroy his knee. This is what I like about Kevin Owens. He's such an interesting. This just shows you why he's so good. He doesn't look like he can move. He looks like he should be on a diet, but the guy moves like a fucking cruiserweight. He's incredibly skilled, he has excellent ring psychology, and he's incredibly charismatic. That you couldn't keep your eyes off the guy. And you could see the wheels turning in his eye, how vicious he is. And in his mind, his viciousness can be explained away by him wanting to do better for his family. It's like, I'll fight anyone to make a better life for my family. He doesn't give a fuck about you. If he has to cripple your ass, he will cripple your ass. Him and Sami Zayn have been best friends for a long time. Didn't stop him from pop-up power bombing his ass into oblivion until the ref stopped the match and just gave him the title just to stop him from brutalizing the poor guy any further. But this was a good. This shows him that he's sort of very opportunistic. If he sees a chink in your armor, he will pound away at it. And that's what he did to Finn Balor. He saw that his knee was fucked up, and he attacked it. If he saw that you were having a heart attack, he would punch you in the chest. If he saw that you had glaucoma in your eyes, he would poke your eyes out. If you were having terminal brain cancer, he would pile drive you 100 times on a steel chair if that's what it took to get the job done. And there was a very cool looking spot where he does some kind of interesting suplex off the top. I can't really describe what the move is. It's just so awesome. You just have to see it for yourself. I love you. So the finish comes. Finn has him on the ropes for some incredible offense, and he goes for his coup de grace double stomp off the top rope. He pulls the move off, which I was expecting Kevin to kind of reverse it or push him off the ropes or something like that, but he nails it. But in a great bit of selling, he landed on it, doing a double foot stomp with a bad leg, jacked his foot up so he couldn't capitalize and go for the pin. This gave Kevin Owens enough time to get back to his feet. Finn runs at him and eats a pop-up powerbomb, which 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens retains. So overall, my thoughts, this was standard fare for NXT. Great quality matches, great promos. They gave you what you wanted, which is an alternative to the WWE. And this is the reason why you should have a subscription to the WWE Network. Not just for the old stuff, but for NXT. If you're looking for, as I said many times before, if you're looking for an alternative to the WWE's main roster bullshit, crappy bookings, sucky matches, and people with no personality, come to NXT. It's well worth the wait. So, those are my thoughts. If you like what you see, link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions? Ask them in the comments. I'll get to you as always. So until the next time, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night and fight Owens fight.